Granny's Handmade, how traditional crafts are becoming trendy again. In an era of mass production and fast fashion, handmade items are making a triumphant comeback. Knitted sweaters, embroidered bags, handcrafted pottery, more and more people are embracing unique, artisanal goods. Surprisingly, the driving force behind this revival is pensioners whose skills were once considered outdated. Why are granny crafts back in style? How is handmade transforming from a hobby into a profitable business? And why are young people flocking to workshops taught by 80-year-old masters? 1. Why are traditional crafts returning? A rebellion against fast fashion. People are tired of disposable clothing and generic products. Handmade equals sustainable. Less waste, natural materials. Uniqueness. No two handmade items are exactly alike. Nostalgia and intergenerational connection. Grandma's knitted socks, trendy TikTok accessory, embroidered shirts and towels, popular among young designers, pottery workshops, spaces for meditation and creativity. The economic factor. The pandemic taught people to value local production. Social media gives artisans direct access to buyers. Etsy, Fair of Masters. 2. Top Granny Craft. Trends of 2024. Knitting, chunky yarn, oversized sweaters, cozy blankets, neon threads, bold contrast with traditional patterns. Amigurumi toys, quirky crocheted figures. Example, Nina, 85, from Vologda sells sweaters for $100 plus via Instagram. Embroidery, embroidered jeans, a hit with Gen Z. Mini hoop art, tiny embroidered masterpieces. Thread portraits, replacing paint with stitches. Trend, number embroidered shirt challenge. Young professionals wearing folk-style shirts to the office. Pottery, imperfect ceramics, fingerprints and irregularities add charm. Eco-friendly tableware, unglazed, toxin-free. Clay therapy, stress relief workshops. Fact, in Moscow, pottery classes for seniors are booked months in advance. 3. How pensioners are becoming handmade influencers. Social media, the new spinning wheel. TikTok, grannies showcase their process. How I knit in 5 minutes. Instagram, aesthetic flat lays plus behind the scenes stories. Etsy, Fair of Masters, direct sales, no middlemen. Success story. Olga, 70, from Ryazan learned video editing from her granddaughter. Now her embroidery channel has 500K followers, with orders from Europe. Teaching, from local clubs to online courses. Offline, community centers, libraries, private studios. Online, Zoom workshops, Stitch with Granny. Unexpected twist. Young designers pay elders for secret techniques. Handmade as a business. Pricing. Hand-knit sweater from 50 versus 0.2. Oh, store-bought. Clay mug from $30. Marketplaces and collaborations. Russian crafts on Etsy. Big brands, for example Zara, commission handmade pieces for collabs. 4. Why are young people learning from elders? Practical reasons. Quality. Grandma's socks last decades. Rare techniques, special stitches, forgotten patterns. Psychological benefits. Slow crafting is stress relief. Real-world connection versus digital loneliness. Trend. A St. Petersburg cafe where you can knit with grannies over tea. 5. Challenges of handmade crafting. Obstacles. Material costs. Wool prices up 40% this year. Mass-produced fakes. Cheap handmade knockoffs. Physical limits, arthritis, poor eyesight. Solutions: bulk buying yarn, clay. Authenticity labels, for example, made by Babushka in Arkhangelsk. Ergonomic tools, lightweight needles, electric pottery wheels. 6. The future of traditional crafts. New tech meets old skills. 3D printed knitting patterns. NFT certificates for handmade goods. VR masterclasses by 90-year-old masters. Global appeal. Japanese boro, patchwork, on fashion runways. Scandinavian knit motifs in interior design. Slavic embroidery, inspiring haute couture. Conclusion: handmade is the new luxury. Granny's crafts are no longer rustic relics, they're trendy, collaborations with designers, high-value artisan, retirement, a new life. How to find a hobby and start a business after 60. Retirement isn't the end of an active life, it's the beginning of a new chapter. More and more people over 60 are launching businesses, turning hobbies into income, or exploring unexpected careers. They prove that age is no barrier to self-fulfillment and financial independence. Why are retirees becoming entrepreneurs? Which business ideas work best? And how can you turn a passion into steady income? Let's explore real-life case studies and strategies. 1. Why do retirees start businesses? Key motivations. Extra income. Pensions often aren't enough. Staying useful. Many refuse to just sit at home. Fulfilling postponed dreams. Finally, time for personal projects. Social connections. Business helps combat loneliness. Statistics. In Russia, 15% of entrepreneurs are over 55. 60% of retiree-run businesses focus on services or handmade goods. 2. Top 7 business ideas for retirees. 1. Homemade products. What to sell? Jams, pickles, cakes, honey, herbal teas. How to market? Social media, local fairs, word of mouth. Example: Galina, 67, from Moscow Oblast, sells gourmet jam, for example, lemon ginger, for 500 rub jar via Instagram. 2. Handmade crafts. Options: knitting, embroidery, pottery, candle making. Platforms: Etsy, Fair of Masters, Avito. Example: Victor, 70, from Tula crafts wooden toys, earning 40-50K rub month. 3. Teaching and consulting. What to teach? Languages, music, cooking, tech repair. Format: online, Zoom, YouTube, or in-person workshops. Example: a 65-year-old math tutor offers paid Skype lessons for students. 4. Gardening and landscaping. Ideas: growing seedlings, houseplants, designing flower beds. Clients: homeowners, offices, restaurants. Example: Ludmila, 72, from Krasnodar, sells rare violets via Telegram. 5. Pet services. Opportunities: pet sitting, dog walking, handmade pet accessories. Demand: high in cities. Example: Olga, 68, from Moscow, knits custom sweaters for pets. 6. Blogging and SMM. Niches: cooking, gardening, history, life hacks. Monetization: ads, courses, donations. Example: a 75-year-old gardener runs a YouTube channel, 100K subs, promoting tools. 7. Rentals and tourism. Options: renting a room, hosting local tours. Platforms: Airbnb, Sutki.ru. Example: an 80-year-old couple in Pskov hosts guests and shares town history. 3. How to start a business. After 60, step by step. Step 1. Pick an idea. Leverage your skills, interests. Test demand. For example, make a trial batch for friends. Step 2. Register. Self-employment. For income under 2.4 M RUB. Year 46% tax. LLC. If hiring employees. Step 3. Find clients. Free methods: social media, word of mouth, local ads. Paid. Targeted ads, classifieds. Step 4. Scale up. Automate, for example, WhatsApp order bot. Hire help, grandkids or fellow retirees. 4. Real success stories. Story 1. Grandma the baker. Nina, 65, from Kazan. Started baking custom cakes post-retirement. From friends to Instagram orders, she now earns 80K RUB month. Story 2. Grandpa the car guru. Vasily, 72, from Voronezh began filming car repair videos for his grandson. Now at 300K YouTube subs, he partners with auto shops. Story 3. The Strawberry Farmers. A retiree couple, 68 and 70, from Tver, launched a mini strawberry farm supplying Moscow via delivery. 5. Challenges and solutions. Obstacles. Competing with youth. Highlight experience, quality. Digital gaps. Learn from family or courses, for example, Internet ABC. Skepticism. Ignore or prove them wrong. Tips. Start small. Don't risk savings. Use free tools, Canva, Google Forms. Seek help, family, government programs. 6. Government support, Russia. Programs for entrepreneurs 55 plus. Free courses, for example, via employment centers. Grants, up to 300K RUB for startups. Low-rate loans, from 3%. Final thought: age is just a number. These stories show retirement equals new opportunities. Hobbies can generate income. Tech is accessible to all. Would you? Old age is a joy. How modern nursing homes are organized. Nursing homes used to be associated with state hospital wards and loneliness, but today new formats of living for the elderly are appearing in the world, from eco-villages to art residences. What does caring for the older generation look like in the 21st century? Let's look at the best practices from Russia and the world. 1. Why are old models becoming a thing of the past? Problems of traditional boarding schools. Isolation from society. Unification life according to a strict schedule. Outdated infrastructure, lack of privacy, medical equipment from the 90s. Crocking fact. In Russia, 78% of citizens consider state nursing homes a place where they send people to die. Data from VT Zyom. 2. Trends in modern elderly care. 1. Community living. The essence: small houses for 10 to 15 people, where the elderly live in separate rooms with personal space, cook and garden together. Invite relatives to visit without restrictions. Examples: House by the Lake, Moscow region. A residence with workshops and walking trails. Greenhouse Project, USA. Cottages with open kitchens and areas for grandchildren. 2. Eco-villages. Concept: eco-friendly materials, wood, clay. Private vegetable gardens and greenhouses. Animals, goats, chickens, for pet therapy. Case: Hogewijk Village, Netherlands. For patients with dementia, recreates the atmosphere of the 1950s. This slows down the progression of the disease. 3. Art residencies. Characteristic: emphasis on creativity. Daily masterclasses, painting, pottery. Exhibitions of residents' works. Joint projects with local museums. In Russia, the Age of Happiness project in Kazan brings together retired artists. 4. Smart nursing homes. Technology: fall and pulse sensors. VR glasses for traveling, bedridden patients. Companion robots, for example, the Japanese Pero. Example: the Spurs Dorovi nursing home uses AI to analyze health status. 3. How is the ideal nursing home arranged? Architecture: no corridor system to avoid the hospital feeling. Privacy zones, personal rooms with the possibility of personalization. Open spaces, winter gardens, terraces. Care: individual plans, not just giving a pill, but taking into account habits. Palliative care, painless old age. Psychologists working with anxiety. Activities: sports, Nordic walking, joint gymnastics. Education: English courses, lectures. Volunteering, for example, knitting things for premature babies. 4. Foreign experience. 5 unusual examples. Sweden, quarter 50 plus. A separate area for pensioners with a cafe, cinema, and university. Neighbors, only peers, but children, grandchildren can live nearby. Japan, house with a kindergarten. A boarding house and a kindergarten under one roof. Toddlers and old people plant and draw together. Germany, youth for housing. Students live with pensioners for free in exchange for help. 20 hours a week, walks, shopping, conversations. USA, university for pensioners. A campus with lectures and clubs of interest. You can get a new degree, for example, at 80 years old. Spain, boarding house, hotel. 5 asterisk services. Spa, sommelier, designer interiors. Price from €3,000 month. 5. How much does a dignified old age cost? Price comparison per auth. Country government institution, private boarding house premium class. Russia free. 30 to 80,000 ayat, 150 to 300,000 ayat. Germany, €1,500, €3,000, €5,000 plus. Thailand, $1,000, $2,500 by quota, but with a 2 to 3 year waiting list. Alternative: Foster Families for the Elderly is a program where a pensioner lives in a private home. In Russia, guardians are paid 10 to 15,000 like month. 6. How to choose a good boarding house. 5 key criteria. Staff to wards ratio, ideally 1 to 3. Possibility of free visits from relatives. Menu taking into account diseases, for example, diabetes. Availability of a license. Check on the Rozdravnadzor webs.